Be me, 34. Currently sitting in the guest bedroom of my parents' house in Ohio, staring at a wallpaper pattern I haven't seen since I was 18. Outside, it's raining. Gray, flat, Midwestern rain. Open laptop. Background wallpaper is still a photo of me on a cliff edge in Santorini. Tan skin, linen shirt unbuttoned, holding a local beer. Looking like I own the world. Close the laptop because looking at it makes my stomach turn. Let's rewind. Be 25. Working as a junior analyst for a logistics firm in Columbus. Cubicle life. Fluorescent lights humming like a dying insect. Boss is a guy named Greg who breathes through his mouth and talks about his lawn. Every day is the same. Wake up, commute, sit, spreadsheet, commute, microwave dinner, sleep. Felt like I was suffocating. Drowning in the mediocrity of the American dream. Started reading blogs. The 4-hour workweek. Digital nomad lifestyle. Escape the matrix. Guys with MacBooks sitting in hammocks in Thailand. Making 6 figures dropshipping cheap sunglasses or writing copy for crypto startups. It intoxicated me. The idea that location was a prison and I held the key. Started hating my friends. Mike, who was excited about his 401k match. Sarah, who just wanted to get married and buy a golden retriever. Called them NPCs in my head. Sheep walking to the slaughter of suburbia. I'm not like them, I told myself. I'm an explorer, a creator, a citizen of the world. Saved up $15,000. Quit my job on a Tuesday. Didn't even give 2 weeks' notice. Told Greg, I'm gonna find myself. He just blinked and said, okay, good luck with that, son. Felt like a movie scene. Sold my car, sold my furniture, canceled my lease. Bought a one-way ticket to Bangkok. Backpack weighed 40 pounds. Felt lighter than air. Landed in Thailand, and the humidity hit me like a kiss. Chaos, noise, smells. Felt alive for the first time in years. First night on Khao San Road. Met a group of guys just like me. Julian from Germany coding an app. Brad from Australia trading Forex. We drank buckets of whiskey and Red Bull. Shouted over the music about how the West was dying. Who wants to pay a mortgage for 30 years to own a box? Brad laughed. We own the moment, mate. I believed it. I believed it with every fiber of my being. Started picking up freelance gigs on Upwork. Writing SEO articles for $50 a pop. Barely enough to survive in Ohio, but in Chiang Mai, I was a king. Pad Thai for $1. Apartment with a pool for $300 a month. Rented a scooter. Zipped through the mountains, wind in my hair. Posted everything on Instagram. Captions were always deep and philosophical. Not all those who wander are lost. Collecting moments, not things. The likes rolled in. Dopamine hits every morning. Comments from friends back home. So jealous. Living the dream. Yeah, I was winning. Dated a string of backpacker girls. French, Swedish, Israeli. Beautiful, free-spirited, hairy armpits, anklets. We'd have intense, week-long romances. Watching sunrises, talking about the universe, tantric sex in bamboo huts. Then they'd move on to Vietnam, I'd move on to Bali. No strings attached. Love is about letting go, I told myself. Possessiveness is toxic. Thought I had cracked the code of human relationships. Years blurred. 27, 28, 29. Moved from Thailand to Bali. Canggu was the new Mecca. Co-working spaces filled with people just like me. Sipping flat whites, talking about scaling and passive income. But nobody seemed to be working that hard. We were all just performing success. I launched a dropshipping store selling bamboo toothbrushes. Made a few grand, felt like Elon Musk. Launched a course on how to become a digital nomad. Sold it to desperate office workers back home. The cycle fed itself. Meanwhile, the group chat with the home friends went silent. Mike bought a house. Sarah got married. They stopped commenting, so jealous on my posts. Now they just liked the photo and scrolled on. Didn't bother me. They're just settling, I told Julian over sunset drinks at a beach club. They've given up on life. Julian nodded, but he looked tired. He was 32 now. Hairline receding, wearing the same bintang singlet he wore 3 years ago. Yeah, he said, totally. 30 hit me in a hostel in Lisbon. Woke up on a top bunk. Guy below me was snoring. Room smelled like wet socks and stale beer. Looked in the mirror in the communal bathroom. Saw the first gray hairs in my beard. Skin looked leathery from too much sun. Eyes looked hollow. Went to the common room to get coffee. Bunch of 21-year-olds playing cards. They looked at me. Not with admiration, but with confusion. Who's the old guy? Their eyes said. Why is he still here? Tried to join the conversation. Where are you guys headed? I've got some great tips for Lagos. They were polite, but distant. Thanks, sir. We're just winging it. Sir? That word hit me like a brick. I wasn't one of them anymore. I was the cautionary tale, the guy who never went home. Brushed it off. Moved to Medellin. Cheaper, better weather, hotter girls, everyone said. Rented a penthouse for $800. Dated a Colombian girl named Sofia. She was 22, studied marketing. Thought I was rich because I had dollars. She wanted to know about my life in America. What kind of car do you have? I don't have a car, baby. I have freedom. Do you own a house? No, I own my time. She didn't get it. She looked at me with pity. So, you are homeless? No, I'm location independent. Broke up with her because she wanted too much. Wanted to meet my parents, wanted commitment. I can't be tied down, I said. Same old script. But it sounded rehearsed now. Hollow. 32 came. COVID happened. Stuck in a tiny apartment in Mexico City for 6 months. Borders closed. No travel, no beach, no content. Just me and my laptop. And the silence. Started checking Facebook. Mike had a kid. Posted a photo of him holding a baby girl. Looked tired, yeah. But he looked solid. Grounded. Like he was part of the earth. Sarah bought a second house, a rental property. Building our future, the caption said. I looked at my bank account. $4, $200. No debt, sure. But no assets. No equity. No 401k. Just a hard drive full of photos and a resume with a 7-year gap of freelance consultant. Panic started to set in. Mild at first, then a dull roar. I need to build something, I thought. Started a new agency. High-ticket sales funnels. Hustled hard for 6 months. Made some money, got back up to $20,000 savings. Felt the swagger return. See, I can turn it on whenever I want. Borders opened. Went to Da Nang. Met up with Brad again. Hadn't seen him in 4 years. He looked rough. Too much partying, too many drugs. He was still talking about the same schemes. Crypto is the future, mate. I'm all in on this new coin. I looked at him and saw my future. A 45-year-old man in a neon tank top. Hitting on tourists half his age. Telling stories about 2016 like it was the golden age of Rome. Realized I didn't want to be Brad. But I didn't know how to be Mike either. Then the call came. Mom. It's Dad. He had a stroke. World stopped. You need to come home. Packed my bag. Same backpack, now frayed and stained. Flight back was a blur of anxiety. Landed in Columbus. Gray sky. Cold air. Parents. House felt smaller than I remembered. Dad was in the hospital, recovering but weak. Mom looked old. So old. Look at you, she said, hugging me. You're so thin. Stayed in the guest room. First week was just hospital visits. Sitting in the waiting room. Scrolling through my phone. Seeing photos of my friends in Bali at a pool party. Felt a pang of jealousy. Then I looked at my dad. frail, sleeping in the hospital bed. Realized I had missed the last 8 years of his life. I missed the barbecues, the Christmases, the gradual decline. I was busy collecting moments with strangers I'll never see again. Dad got discharged. Needed care at home. I stepped up. I can work from anywhere, I told Mom. I'll stay for a while. A while turned into 3 months. Freelance clients started dropping off. Time zone difference was killing me. Hard to be a high-energy digital marketer when you're depressed in Ohio. Income dried up. Down to $10,000. Then $5,000. Decided to reach out to Mike. Hey man, long time, back in town. Beer? Met him at a local brewery. He arrived in a Ford F-150, wearing a polo shirt and dad jeans. Looked thick, healthy. Shook my hand firmly. Good to see you, man. You look traveled. We sat down. I launched into my stories. Yeah, so I was on this motorcycle in Vietnam, right? And this buffalo blocks the road. Mike smiled, nodded. That's crazy. And then in Colombia, I was partying with this cartel guy's daughter. Mike sipped his beer. Wild. Realized he didn't care. Not that he was being mean. He just couldn't relate. And honestly, the stories sounded stupid out loud. Juvenile. So what's new with you? I asked, thinking he'd say nothing much. Well, we just closed on the rental property. Thinking about refinancing the main house while rates are okay. Little Emily just started preschool. She's reading already, it's nuts. His eyes lit up. He talked about his life with passion. Not excitement, but Twemble weight. Substance. He was building a cathedral. I was building sandcastles. Check came. I reached for my wallet. I got it, Mike said. No, I insist. Really, man. I got it. You're, in transition. He knew. He knew I was broke. Felt shame burn my neck. Thanks, Mike. Walked to his truck. He said, my firm is hiring, supply chain manager. It's boring, but benefits are good, 6 figures. Looked at him. Part of me wanted to spit at his feet. I'm a digital nomad. I don't do 9to5. Other part of me wanted to cry. I'll think about it, I said. Cool, let me know. Drove home in my mom's Honda Civic. Rain pattering on the roof. Stopped at a red light. Looked at the car next to me. Guy my age, suit, talking on Bluetooth. Probably going home to a wife and dinner. I was going home to a single bed in a dying freelance career. Decided to try dating. Downloaded Hinge. Set location to Columbus. Photos. Me on a beach, me on a mountain, me with a tiger. Bio, world traveler, 40+ countries, just back in town, let's go on an adventure. Got matches. Mostly single moms or women who loved travel, meaning they went to Disney World once. Matched with Jessica. 33, lawyer. Looked sharp, intelligent. Met for drinks. She looked at my photos. So what do you do? I'm a digital entrepreneur. Marketing consulting. I've been living abroad for years. Oh cool, so are you back for good? I don't know. Thinking about heading to Portugal next. The tax incentives are great. Trying to sound sophisticated. She swirled her wine. So you don't have a base? A home? The world is my home. She laughed. Not a nice laugh. That sounds exhausting and kind of lonely. It's liberating, I defended. Is it? Or are you just running away? Sting. I'm not running, I'm exploring. Okay, but what happens when you're 50? You gonna be living in a hostel in Lisbon? I'll figure it out. She checked her watch. Look, you seem fun, but I'm looking for a partner. Someone who wants to build a life, a family. I don't have time for tourists. Date ended 20 minutes later. Drove home. Realized she was right. I was a tourist. Not just in countries, but in life. Visiting experiences, never staying long enough to understand them. Never planting a tree. Never watching anything grow. Sat on the edge of the bed. Opened Instagram. Saw a post from Julian. New chapter, moving to Laos. Photo of him on a boat, holding a beer. He looked desperate. Smiling too hard. Eyes dead. Realized that was me. I had spent my prime years chasing a fantasy of freedom, trading stability for novelty, trading depth for width. And now the bill was due. Opened my laptop, pulled up Mike's email, started typing. Hey man, about that job. Fingers trembled. Felt like surrender. Felt like admitting defeat. Looked at the wallpaper on my screen one last time. The cliff in Santorini. Realized I couldn't even remember the name of the guy who took the photo. Just some random traveler I met for 2 hours. Deleted the photo. Set background to default blue. Hit send on the email. Be me, 34. Starting over as a junior supply chain manager. Report to Greg's replacement on Monday. Dad is happy I'm staying. Mom is making meatloaf. It's not excitement. It's not freedom. But for the first time in 8 years, I know where I'll be next week. And maybe, just maybe, that's enough. Close laptop. Listen to the rain. It sounds like peace.